This man refuses to give up his vision of peace, now more than ever after the attacks in Paris. He's MERROUN, chairman of the Evry Mosque. Evry is a suburb of Paris, colorful and multicultural. But it also has social tensions. There's a lot of dissatisfaction among the young people.
I tell parents that they need to watch out that their children don't learn about Islam from Imam Google. That's a false imam. Young people should turn to a genuine religious scholar.
MERROUN spends lots of time with kids. It's a daily ritual. He knows about life on the fringes of society, having arrived in France in the 1970s as a guest worker. He says he's always been a friend of mankind, and his France is a welcoming country.
The 3 murdered police officers represent France. They were a cross-section of the country. One was Arab, one was white, and one was a black woman. That's typical for this kind of indiscriminate terrorism. It affects everyone.
MERROUN supports the international campaign Not in My Name, which young Muslims are now supporting in France. They post photos and comments distancing themselves from terrorism and expressing their own principles.
I don't like Charlie Hebdo because I think the cartoonists often go too far and hurt people's feelings. So I can't identify with Charlie Hebdo. But I'm against any form of violence, and I don't want people to kill in the name of Islam. Those people aren't Muslims.
The majority of Muslims have been horrified by these recent acts of terrorism. Yet the Muslim community in France is under pressure. Its members face discrimination and prejudice on a daily basis. Right-wing extremist groups rant about an alleged Islamization of the country and characterize all observant Muslims as extremists.
The Jews used to be the main target of the right-wing extremists. But now Marine Le Pen is using Islamophobia to try to win the next election. But she's a total hypocrite. She's two-faced, acting friendly one minute, then doing the opposite.
MERROUN works tirelessly in his fight against fanatics of all camps. He wants to encourage understanding rather than prejudice. And he can be proud. He's been awarded the French Medal of Honor for his grassroots work at promoting peace.
I know how much our Muslim fellow citizens are suffering right now. And I thank the chairman of the mosque, KHALIL MERROUN, for his emphatic words about the attacks.
On the streets of France, voices are growing louder. The deep shock of the attacks has resulted in France's population closing ranks. Hundreds of thousands of Muslims were among those marching to demonstrate solidarity with the victims of the terrorist attacks and their families. But that kind of closeness is far from complete. Even within the Muslim community, traditional and modern theologians are often vehemently opposed to each other. Anthropologist MALEK, himself a Muslim, warns that such factional disputes are harmful when it comes to enlightening the West about Islam.
It's high time that we reform everything. We must finally organize democratic elections among Muslims so that we have a single elected Grand Imam. We have to do things a bit like the Jewish community does them.
KHALIL MERROUN, the chairman of the Evry Mosque, wants to be a role model when it comes to getting involved in social and interfaith matters.
We say, Muslims, be the eyes of society. You must prevent terrorism from being able to spread.
The events of last week have shown that now more than ever, Muslims must be vigilant in defending the values of Islam to prevent deep rifts within France.